great to have you with us. They're here, which is important. We have got a massive show tonight. Mark McClure, Premiership hero from the Carlton Footy Club, is going to join us on the show. Sellers, looking forward to it. And if you're over in the West tuning in, stay tuned. A bit later on in the show, we've got a bit of potentially breaking news about the West Coast Eagles and some of the ancillary activities around that football club. So just stay tuned. It's pretty big news later on in the show. It's been a big week.
What is the big week, mate? The big news?
Well, the big news is the royal baby. Congratulations and welcome aboard to...
Yes.
Which ones have had the kid?
Cheers. What's the name?
They've gone with Archie Harrison, I believe.
I dropped a packet on that.
What do you mean?
I went all in on Booney. Prince Booney.
Well,
hey, you've got a ring to it. Eh?
You've always been a staunch monarchist. I know that was... it's just
do you like Archie?
No, I would have gone for, something a little bit more traditional, like Snoop. I would... But the only thing I'd say about the little fella...
Has he got any chance?
Well, it's just a shame that he'll never be king because he's, I think, 7th in line for the throne.
Right.
Which, and as we all know, it's very hard to become king if you finish outside the top 4. I don't think he's much of a chance. That's all I'd say about the little fella.
Yeah. Anyway, well done. You mentioned Mark McClure.
Yeah,
He's coming on. We're all very excited about that. We've had a look at some highlights. There's some good stuff to look forward to. We're going to have to ask him about the current Carlton team.
Oh, we'll do that for sure. He doesn't pull his punches.
No, who are in the wars. Look at him looking sad-faced there walking off. That's at half-time, sadly.
We had a... Listen.
But what do you do with a problem like Carlton?
One bad week doesn't define a team. You should know that. Your side got cleaned up last week by a young up-and-comer.
Well spotted, Andy, because, we're a bit stiff too. North are the form competition. It was always going to be tough.
Yeah. No, they've been all right leading up to that. They fell off the cliff a bit last week, but they'll bounce back this week. Don't worry about that.
I'm just having a bit of fun, but there is a lot of positives down there. There's a lot of positives down there at Carlton. Just look at Brendan Bolton, for example, the new coach. He's staying positive.
We have won 12 of 24 quarters. If the ladder's not, we know the reality is the ladder, you either win or you lose. But if it was based on quarters won, we're sitting 8.
There you go.
What's wrong with that?
It's a KPI. It's a KPI.
You should go out and get your would-be 8th if they do it on quarters tattoo.
No, that's all right. That's a measurement. They're winning as many quarters as they lose. In the quarters they lose, the other mob's kicking more.
So what was it again?
8 out
12 from 24, which would have skyrocketed after last week.
Yeah, but I think
that was prior to last week's game.
Based on that rationale, if I could paint, I'd have an interview show on the ABC. So... It's good to stay positive, though, Nick.
I just hope you win 3 quarters in a row, or as they call it down at Carlton, the three-peat. You know what I mean? That'd be great. Just imagine that if you want to...
You're a miserable bloke.
You are.
I liked you a lot better before Richard won that premiership.
Do you think little Archie will ever see a Carlton premiership in his lifetime?
Well, he's a blue blood, isn't he?
Yes.
So hopefully for little Archie, you will see a premiership in his time one of those days.
It's not all doom and gloom, though. There's a lot to like down there. This will cheer you up. This is the draft ladder as we speak.
Oh, yeah.
Now have a look at it. Bang. So you're going to be second. So you're going to get the second. As it stands at the moment, you get the second pick. Up at the top, I've heard this is the richest talent list in the top 5 or 6. Super draft.
There's a lot of some great talent.
Good news. Always good to, young talent.
Sorry, what's that?
What?
My producers are telling me you traded that pick. And in there, there. That was the best deal I've seen since Brexit.
Speaking of young talent...
Apparently the top 5 are unbelievable.
They are.
Settle down.
Don't you start anyway. You're talking about young talent there. Your side was torn apart by a teenager on the weekend. One of the brightest young displays of aerial work from a young footballer for quite some time. 9 contested marks, Aaron Norton. Absolutely turned Richmond inside out. I mean, that was a fantastic performance. No such figures have ever been turned in the contested marking arena like that from a Western Bulldog or Footscray player ever before. And so good was he that the Richmond coach, Damien Hart, was asked about him after the game, and even he had a reasonable praise of the kid's performance.
Oh, listen, we could have had Jesus Christ playing down there tonight, and I reckon he would have struggled on him, to be fair.
Pretty good stuff.
That's pretty high praise.
That's pretty high praise.
Because we all know, like, Jesus Christ he's a pretty good player.
You're right.
Well, I know I had his footy card. Yeah. It's like, mate, he could do anything. He could do anything, Jesus Christ.
Where do you reckon, back or forward, where was he at his best, do you reckon?
Well, he could play anywhere, Mickey, Jesus Christ.
I liked him forward at least till his third knee, Rico.
Yeah.
And then he found it hard to get the ball.
Yeah. And also, I've just forgotten, his career tragically cut short too, by the way.
I remember in the footy record that week, Jesus out, crucifixion.
I know.
What's the...
Oh, Christ. I hope
He was handy, though.
He was handy.
He used to turn all the water bottles into wine when he was going out there.
Hope Israel Folau's not watching.
Oh, yeah, no. I tell you what...
Five-time All-Galilean.
Yeah, no, in terms of religious figures, though, you know could have been anything.
Who?
Buddha. Buddha could have been anything, but just too lazy. He was
deadly up forward when they used to employ Buddha's panic.
All right, well,
we might be done here.
He didn't like the pre-season skin folds much. That would always let him down. Hey,
I thought we were done, but we're back. Look at you. Have a look at it. Feels good, doesn't it?
How many times do you reckon he went off under the blood rule?
Yeah, now we're back. One more.
Righto.
All right.
Hey, there have been a lot of other big stories rolling around this one. One of them was Stephen May. I don't know.
We are actually moving on.
We are moving on. The producer been telling me for 4 minutes to move on. So, Stephen May, the photo of him, he's in rehab, the Melbourne defender, hasn't been able to get out on the park. It was a player's day off. He is rehabbing, as we know. Was having a couple of quiet beers on the Sunday, the day off, and somebody took a photo of him.
So he's technically still on duty, if you know what I mean.
Well, he's rehabbing, so there's different rules for players who are coming back from injury.
He
had to apologise to his teammates. What did you make of the Soul Stephen May saga?
It wasn't a good look when he did his apology. He was still eating a kebab. Can I say something? I'm going to say this in all seriousness. That man's got one job, and he's required and he's on deck. And if you can't go to your place of work for, say, 1 hour and not drink beer, I think that's a sad indictment.
Mick, well said. I know it's tough to say, and I'll cheers to that.
Cheers.
You got to have some discipline sometimes, you know.
We came
1 hour.
Again, one of the other big talking points through the season proper up until this point has been how will the new rules affect the game? And the 6-6-6 is going to lead to more. So we saw an element of it not working, didn't we, on Sunday at the Adelaide Oval? I mean, this was a debacle, Adelaide v Fremantle. 14-12 at half time. We were hoping that the scoreboard was going to be hit, the game would open up, there'd be more free-flowing football, more room for players to move in, faster transition from one end to the other.
They've just fixed the game, haven't they, Andy? You know what I mean? This was tough to watch. It was unbelievable.
It was tough to watch. It really was.
Steve Hawking would be wrapped, wouldn't he? But there was one bloke who was enjoying it. What was it at half time?
14-12.
Yeah, but in a Ross Lyon coach team, that's a shootout.
It was raining goals.
Hey, there was another slightly controversial moment in this game with Brad Hill. He was on the mark, young Lachlan Murphy having a shot for goal. And there was a free kick paid against 50 metres against Brad Hill for what he did on the mark, and I can't believe he didn't get the memo several years ago about this. He's picked up the bit of graph and he's piffed it at Lachlan Murphy. I mean, you can't be doing that sort of stuff.
That's the only attacking move Freo made all.
You can't. I mean, everybody in the game knows you can't be throwing stuff at players anymore.
Everyone knows that.
Is that fair call?
Yeah, absolutely fair call. You only have to go to history books that Brad Hill joins a long line of, players stopped trying to do something on the mark. These guys up at Carrara, this guy on shoulders.
That's a boot.
Leper's a boot in the air.
Yep.
This one, Jack Tui back to the kicker,
like it.
and then of course this one here with the whole team lined up. So
that's all right. It's having a go. They're trying their hardest.
Listen,
What's wrong with that?
I don't want to get too serious, but the only thing I'd say is, mate, that is a simple part of the game that shouldn't really become part of it. You know what I mean? Like in terms of you just stand on the mark, guy has a shot for goal, and then you get on with the game. You don't have to really go into.
Wow.
What?
That's a bit rich coming from you. Right, you were notorious. Paran used to play for Paran.
Long time ago.
You've probably forgotten. Have a look at this footage. Here's Sam on the mark.
Oh, what's this? What are these? What are these here? Hey, come on! Come on!
What's wrong with that?
You can't be doing that.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Like I said, you just got to get on with the game.
Do you?
Yeah, that's all. That's nothing.
That is nothing. It's nothing compared to this. This was about 2 weeks later, and I'd just see if you can pick it.
Look at that. He missed.
That's
Really, that was from. A very generous crowd to be clapping that. But that's from that footage from way back in my career in 93, 94.
I'm so proud.
It looks like it was just shot this week.
I like it. If you're watching at home, check out the footy.
Well,
we couldn't even get
it
a
was
footy.
a good day in perfect conditions, so the orchid would have flourished.
What was it, the footy?
We couldn't even get a footy that didn't have signatures or autographs or some sort of novelty footy someone's won in a raffle. We couldn't even get a proper footy. We've got to go to a break.
Let's
Don't
do
go
that.
anywhere because there's a lot to get through. Our little birdie is telling me that due to popular demand, Sam Six may be back.
Yes, I heard.
Here we go.
Welcome back to the show. We're here for the Brewery Fresh Carlton Draft. That is a very, very fine pub.
Is that your local?
That is my local. A couple of hop, skip and a jump away from my place, the Terminus. It's a lovely pub. Make sure you stay... What, you're mumbling away there.
Bingo night popular there.
Make sure you stay... Make sure you
For the younger
stay...
crowd, or
Make sure you stay involved in the show via our social media network. We have an extensive one and we like your feedback. It's always gratefully received.
Yes.
One of the features of the show is Sam Pang keeps an eye on the commentary team.
What a week of commentary it was. Let's start off with Fox Footy's Eddie Maguire. Go into some stats about Melbourne and Hawthorn, and not sure all these numbers add up, Ed.
Hawthorn wanting to lift. They have kicked 2 of the last 6 goals, and Melbourne have kicked 5 of the last 6. So the Demons are on a roll here at the MCG.
And that guy hosts a quiz show too, by the way. Now, he was one of my favourite players, and he's one of my favourite commentators. I'm talking about Mark Rasciuto.
playing with fire.
I'm just pointing out, I loved him as a player. And over at Fox Footy,
These are not the views of the show.
He's taken commentary to another level. And one of the things I loved about him as a player was his honesty, and that is he's taken that into the commentary box, especially when it comes to his knowledge about the rules of the game.
Oh, Taberner didn't know what was coming. Betts.
Isn't that incorrect disposal? I don't know the rules.
Can I, Rui, I love you. It's a message to you. As a commentator, if you don't know the rules, don't tell us. Now, luckily though for Mark, he had the steady hand of Matthew Pavlich to support him in the commentary box. Have a listen to this.
Yes, he did.
That is holding the ball, isn't it, Pav? Yes.
Chemistry. That's what it is.
It's a simple game.
Speaking of chemistry, have you caught AFL Squadron before?
Well, a little bits and pieces. Bits and pieces, mate.
So it's a show hosted by Gary Lyon, and we've got acres of it.
From the what, 80s? Is it the 80s?
1880s. I'm not sure. It was a long time ago, and it's a very young Gary Lyon in the hosting chair. We'd like him to come on this show. So far, he's not taking our calls.
Are you ringing him?
No. Not until we get some of the good stuff down, just in case he says yes.
Yeah.
So I've plucked out a special bit for you today. Who doesn't like Luke Beveridge?
No, we love
Young Luke Beveridge having his first hit out. Have a look at some of the enigmatic smiles on the face of Luke Beveridge going one-on-one with Gary Lyon.
Good morning and welcome, boys and girls, to the AFL Squadron Show. This morning I've got a very special guest from the Melbourne club, a young heartthrob down at Gleemanland, Luke Beveridge. Welcome to the show, Luke.
Thanks, Gary.
Heartthrob. A young heartthrob.
It wasn't until about 10 years later he actually grew into that neck, which is fantastic. So let's get down to it. When you go mano a mano with Gary Lyon on AFL Squadron, you want to bring your A game. Have a look at this duke out to the death.
Just before we finish, you're also a little bit of a surfer, Lukey, and as I say, the girls, you're pretty popular with the girls. Is the surfing good for your football at all?
Yeah, it is, Gary. Actually, it helps you get used to the cold a little bit in the winter when you get out in those cold winter days.
What's more dangerous, do you think, surfing or playing football?
Oh, I'd say definitely playing footy, mate. Yep.
And what's more fun?
Oh, playing footy, Gary.
Okay, well, there you have it. Luke Beveridge, the surfing footballer, very popular with the girls and I'm sure with the young kids too.
That is magnificent.
I had no idea Luke Beveridge was so popular with the girls.
Well, apparently he was, if you listen to Gaz.
He surfs and he plays
He's popular with the girls. Hey,
call me Gary.
It's back. Ladies and gentlemen, the people have called for this to return, and it is back.
Oh, wow.
Sam Six. Well done.
It's been a while.
It's been too long.
It's been quite a hiatus.
It has. I don't think
What's
we've done it for a year, and yet would have thought there'd be enough time for the graphics department to put up something new, but that's fine. You know,
it's a big night. You've come on a good night, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
So Sam
pretty
Six,
exciting.
these are rare as hen's teeth.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen a Sam Six, but it's like I pick a category, and then I just give 6 examples of that category.
Yeah.
It's very simple.
Yeah, I like it.
Self-explanatory, really.
Yeah, it is. And it's fair to say it has been. Had a bit of a break, but like they always say, you don't run your best horses all the time. So there has been
Was that a go at the multi?
No, multi is a good workhorse that you just put every week. But there's been a lot of feedback saying, where is it? And so, I bowed to popular opinion.
Okay.
Thanks for your letter, Gwen. And so tonight's
What is the topic?
category.
What is the subject?
I'm not going to lie, it's a bit of a cliche. It's been done to death, but that doesn't mean that we can't do it.
They should put your own treatment on it.
Thank you. You know what I mean? So your best forwards or your best ruckman, that sort of stuff.
Have a go.
Tonight's is my Sam Six, my 6 favourite Richmond players from the 70s and 80s trying to master the art of a smile on their footy card.
Not again.
I know.
Hey, not again.
Of course.
But did we get that category? Okay.
Yeah, go right.
I think you should say it again.
Yeah, what is it?
This is my top 6 favourite Richmond players from the 70s and 80s trying to master the art of a smile on their footy card.
Right.
Number 6.
All right, here we go.
Terry Smith. Now, fair to say he hasn't actually actually grasped the subject of smiling there, Terry.
He hasn't launched.
But, this is in ascending order. Number 5 is Dale Waitman here with a cheeky little... Just giving a little bit. Just giving a little bit there.
There's a hint.
You can see how...
He's
you can
on.
see where this
Game
is
on
going.
now.
Yeah,
I like
you can see where this
I'm
is going.
excited now.
You can see why...
Who knows where this is going?
You can see why we don't do Sam 6 all the time. Hey, the other thing is, number 4.
Yeah, right.
What about Bob Hurd here? Fighting it, but still a little bit of it. So that's a nice... just the bottom teeth, Andy. Just the bottom
It's
teeth.
trying hard, yep.
Number 3, though, Emmett Dunn with just... it's fighting it, but it comes through.
Come on.
It's like they want it to smile, but like I said, it's hard to.
What do you mean smile? I'm smiling.
I'm smiling. This is as best as I can do.
Come on, Emmett.
Number 2, Noel Jenkinson. He nailed it, by the way. Well done, Noel Jenkinson. Have a look at Noel. And my number 1 favourite Richmond player from the 70s, 80s, trying to master the art of a smile on their footy card, is not only is he smiling, he's got crazy eyes as well. Stephen Mount, congratulations, number 1. Have a look at that.
Well, that is something.
Great Sam 6. Can I just say, I think Jenkinson was a bit stiff. Coming in number 2, that was pretty good.
Jenkinson was stiff. I'm not going to be honest. He should have been number 1, but we couldn't get him to come on the show.
But
as opposed to Stephen Mount, who is here on the show.
Stephen, how lovely to see you. Thanks for coming on the show.
Just a little insight as to how we book our guests on the show. But, Stephen, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Great to be here, Sam, I think.
Yeah, I say that hesitantly because, how can we be sure? The old players, they change so much. How can we be absolutely sure it's Stephen Mount? So we can get your footy card up and if you can just show us, that... You just make sure it's you. Do it, Stephen. Do it.
I've got a lot fewer teeth now. I don't think I can do that.
Come on, give it a go. Come on, Stephen.
You know what would be even funnier? Can we put the card up again?
Yeah.
That would be great. Even better if that card was a mugshot.
Yeah.
It's me.
Having done that, you teach at St Kevin's College.
Yes.
A bunch of boys in Melbourne here. How are they going to go, having seen you do that tomorrow when you're front up at school?
They've enjoyed it for a long time. I've taught there for 10 years now.
Right.
And they have... It was actually quite good when it first came out because it was only a card and people's memories faded after 10 years. And then in the 90s, the computers started coming back. Right. And then everyone could search on this. And so what I'm faced with on most days is the screensavers with my card, my picture there. About 30 of them. Of course. Yeah. And they've never seen it before. They come up and say, "Sir, do you like your picture? It's funny, isn't it?" And I go, "No."
Stephen, surely they've seen the 1980 grand final, a replay thereof, which you were in. Now, you played 30-odd games for Richmond. How many games did you played when you played for the Tigers in this grand final?
I'd played 18 at that stage.
You're 20 years old and you played in that game?
Yep.
You're wearing a Collingwood. Do you wish you hadn't swapped the jumper?
No, not really. I swapped it with Craig Davis, who was a teammate of mine, and we played Tassie footy together over in Western Australia in the 150th celebrations over there.
Fantastic.
And I just thought it was a good tradition.
Yeah.
I'm sort of sad that it's gone. And, they had a pretty terrible day, really, but it's nice to have that. And I gave it to someone to raffle off down at Anglesey, and they made about $1,000 for it.
Oh, that's great.
And that was a long time ago, but just this year I asked Craig Davis, "Can I have it back?" I said, "I haven't got yours, but can I have mine back?" And he said, "Yeah." And then he went away and looked for it, couldn't find it.
Right.
Obviously a treasured piece of memorabilia for us. But, mate, you were a premiership player.
Oh, no, yeah,
and
absolutely.
obviously, we'll dream of playing in a premiership. And you mightn't have your jumper, but I'm sure you've got the team photo, by the way. You've got the team photo there. That's a great thing. We have a look at Steve, a close-up of Stephen Mount in the Richmond premiership team photo.
That is wrong.
Hey, thanks for coming
Thanks for bringing that in too. I really appreciate that.
Thanks for coming on and being part of it.
Thanks, mate.
Stephen Mount. So it's 20 years.
Number one, mate. No, sorry.
20
no,
years of age, part of that Super Richmond team that won that grand final by 81 points beautifully against Collingwood. A magnificent day it was for all people who don't like the Collingwood Footy Club. We're going to get a break out of another bloke who didn't like the Collingwood Football Club. He's going to join us next from the Carlton Footy Club. Three-time premiership player Mark McClure to join us next. Footy Carlton v Collingwood, a man who played in many of them, had a few dust-ups on the way through, former captain of the Carlton Football Club, three-time premiership player, starred against the Pies in some of those feisty battles. Please make him welcome Mark McClure, everybody. Thanks for coming on. Hey, and before we get going, there was a big function up in Sydney today. The New South Wales greatest football team of all time was announced, and Mark McClure was named in that team along with some absolute superstars. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done. People are going to recognise you because you're still pretty visible on the old Fox Footy, and we thank them for letting you come on. You're doing some fantastic work over there, but we don't get to see many of your highlights of you playing at Fox Footy. Some of the younger, I do. They take us back to a better day as a Carlton supporter. You were a fantastic player. Started down back, went to centre half forward. Hard-working, tough, honest, talented centre half forward. Honestly, all modesty aside, describe yourself as a player. If you were writing a 40-word praise of yourself as a player, what would you say?
Average.
No, come on. Mark, no, come on. You're not average.
Mark, you were a...
No, look, I had a good time and we had a great bunch of guys. No, seriously.
It's not a police interview.
Well...
OK, we would like to try... Look at these highlights, mate. We're sitting around. We could have played an hour of this.
But
big grabs. You're out in front. You're a big fella. You're rangy.
Anything else?
Well, you did have some dust-ups against Collingwood.
These are famous.
I want to ask you about holding the ball up. Your battles with Billy Picken were legendary. You played in the 81, 82, 79 grand final sides, of course.
How'd you get on with him?
Bill, really well.
You get on well?
No, we do.
No love lost on the field, and it was quite obvious. You guys used to look forward to it. Because you didn't go, there'll be trouble here today.
But so did we.
Yeah.
It was sort of, in those days, you'd play against a centre-half-back most times, Ross Glendinning, Billy Picken, all those sort of guys around the place. And I loved it. I loved it.
Have a drink with him after the game?
Absolutely.
So,
yeah. Oh, yeah, sometimes.
It's great to hear.
How I asked this those sellers, how did you get to Carlton, if you know what I mean? Is it the old zoning days, or how did you get there?
Well, I was a Sydney boy, and because New South Wales was the thing I was just involved in, so Bert Deacon turned up at my door in Coogee. And I had no idea who Bert Deacon was. Bert Deacon was the club secretary and a Brownlow medalist for Carlton and a great person, one of the great people I've ever met in footy. Yep. And he turned up and he said, "I'm Bert Deacon." I went, I don't know. And I said, "Dad," talked to my dad, and he said, and the next day I was off to Melbourne. So
simple as that.
It was very nice. You know, it was nice to do, and I had no idea what I was in for, to tell you the truth.
Where'd you get your nickname, Sellers? Where's that come from?
I lived with a guy by the name of Leo Brooks. And
I love Leo Brooks. He was a neighbour of mine. Yes. What a great old Carlton man.
He was, yeah. And we were watching Peter Sellers at the party one night, and he had this china. Not certain it was he'd bought it, but he may have.
Yeah,
you know the rules.
He may have been holding it for someone. If I know Leo Brooks.
But you do know Leo Brooks. Anyway, so it was beautiful china, and it was my turn to make the cup of tea. And as I was walking down the hallway, all I hear was a smash. You know? And the party was on that night, and from that moment on, he's called me Sellers.
Sellers?
That's it.
Famous Sellers.
Forever.
I praise
Very
indeed.
simple.
Very simple. Why do they call you the Orchid?
They're not. We're not doing the Orchid. We're going to move on. I wanted to the great highlights for you there, Mark.
Yeah.
And basically as a forward. But I just wanted to, I feel it's my job to point out that you were very versatile. You could go down back.
You're a key position player, anywhere on the spine.
Exactly, like you did against North Melbourne in 76. You went down back and you played on Malcolm Blight this day.
I did.
Tell us about this day, Mark.
Well, this wasn't one of my best.
This is the last quarter. No. Does he kick 3 goals on you in the last quarter?
Actually, thank you very much. He did. He kicked 3 goals, and I went, "Oh, that was Curly Austin's fault there." But I actually sat around, I talked around, I looked at Brucey Dool. Brucey Dool's playing on, can't remember the guy's name, Johnny Douglas.
Yep.
He played cricket for Australia and all those sorts of things. And there I am on Malcolm Blight. I thought there was a little mismatch. Do you think?
Well, this is after the siren.
Yeah, but you know what? They've lied for hours.
Now, what are you thinking at this point?
Well, I'm thinking that it was at 45 metres out. I was standing.
You reckon that's not as big as
Well, you have a look at the square. Go back and do it again.
Well, let's go back.
Let's go.
Well,
Have a look at it.
since
Show-
you're
I'll show you
assisting,
exactly.
we'll have
That's
another look.
50.
See, I'm at 45.
Yeah, but it goes,
and
it
it
goes
go-
through by 30 metres, Sellers.
It nearly goes over the top of the Heatley stand.
He kicked at 60.
Did you ever ask? Did you ever turn around to Dooley? Could you do that? No, I know you're all really big about player empowerment. Did you ever say to Dooley, "Hey, Bruce, let's swap"? Like, did you ever call him?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't do that.
Why not? We might have
I was
won the
a little
game.
bit
We might have won the
humble.
game had you done it.
Let it go, Andy.
It is only 45 years ago.
By the way, have you watched that attempt to spoil that mark that came into Blighty before he kicked that top?
I tried to.
It wasn't a great attempt to spoil. I mean, you're a super. No, if I may be so bold.
It can be, yeah.
He's
If I
our
may be
guest
so-
on this show.
I understand.
Did you prefer it up forward or down back?
I like playing up forward. It was harder.
Can you not attack?
No one goes to the footy to watch someone spoil, you know?
That's
a good point.
That's correct.
And no one watches this show for you, Andy. You know what I mean?
He's attacked our guest.
Just don't attack our guests.
I love him. I love him like a grandfather. I think that come out wrong.
But if he's your grandfather, that would make him 150. Sellers, what about the 79 grand final and Alex Jesaulenko as coach? What was he like?
It was actually interesting. Ian Stewart coached before he started, and he coached 7 games at Carlton, Ian Stewart. He lost 6 of them. Alex Jesaulenko turns up, won 14 straight.
Yeah.
And seriously, and that was the respect we had for him and as a group. And I loved him, and he got us so fit. You were frightened to lose because we used to train really hard, but it was unbelievable. And then the next year he lost 3 games and won the premiership. And overall, he's lost 4 games of football in 2 years and got the sack. Well, but that's Carlton.
That's something. That's
Just tell you, they're a lot more patient these days. Let me tell you.
Just on that, because Andy and I talk about it all the time.
All the time.
As Carlton sport.
Should have been 4 in a row.
Could you believe that those images of Jezza as your playing coach, premiership coach, 79, he starts 1980 playing for St Kilda, Mark.
Yeah, I do. And we had Percy Jones. It was the toughest year of our life. We coached ourselves.
We should have been 4 in a row. Hey, tell us about those. It's Saturday. I know you're celebrating 79. The boys are all going to be there, and sadly Mickey Young won't be there. One of the fallen from the year. But tell us about
It's a fantastic rivalry.
What it was like back in the day to play against that mob.
I was ruthless, and if you ever went to Princess Park or to Victoria Park,
both,
and that was Des Tudman. I finished his career. He broke his arm on my head.
Stan Magro. Magro laying out Jezza.
Yeah, I was 10 metres away from that, and that was pretty brutal. And
so
this is
now have a look at this. That's terrible. Have a look at this kick. This is amazing. Big grab, plays on, runs in. This could be goal of the year. Watch it go through. No, we'll cut to the fights.
It was a different time back then.
Even the goal umpire missed it. He was watching the fight.
Yeah.
So.
Look, it was. To me, the Carlton Collingwood stuff was rivalry, and it was fantastic. You go to Victoria Park, you come out. Sometimes you have your wiper blades on, and sometimes you've had them off. You know. And then they do the same that happened at our place. I can assure you.
It's changed a bit though, hasn't it? It's not the same.
Well, you don't go to those grounds anymore. We're going to the MCG and Etihad, you know, or not Etihad anymore. I apologise, Marvel or what it's called. But and it's not the same as going to those local grounds.
But the players don't feel it as much anymore, do they? I mean.
Well, what do they feel, Andy? I don't know. What do they feel?
No, I don't know.
Well, they're robots, you know.
Hey, that's the spirit.
I just don't think that. I don't know what they do. Tell you, what do? They sit there all day. They don't have a job.
They take a lot of counselling. They're part of. They have a lot of
counselling.
They have a lot of meetings.
Mental health.
They take a lot of meetings.
You didn't die wondering in your day. You didn't need leading teams or any of that, did you? Players in your day, nothing was left unsaid. You had sorted out pretty much if you had an internal problem.
Yeah, we had our own unstructured leading teams on a Sunday morning, watching the world of sport.
Yeah.
We would sometimes slip in some truth serum. And then all of a sudden just attack each other and how we wanted to, but not attack each other. Unstructured way. You didn't do that for me.
So
why didn't you do this for me?
Yeah.
Players that set the standards.
Oh, they set the standards.
Yeah.
They run the show.
Yeah.
I was a pretty honest hero. You got some pretty honest feedback from the commentary box one day.
I've got plenty.
From Lou Richards. Have a listen to this assessment of your game.
A chance for McClure, but he's got a touch of the fumbles. Too many late nights, I'd say.
It's true or false?
Terrible have a reputation.
Well, that's how it goes.
You finished in 1986, Mark, but you had a good year in 86. You kicked 44 goals in 1986, and then you were gone. Did you think you had any more left in the tank?
Not according to Robert Walls.
Yeah, that wasn't the question.
No.
Did you want to keep playing?
No, I was injured. I had problems with the foot, and I had broken thumb, and I had a whole lot of issues with myself at that time. They wanted to go with younger guys, and they proved by winning the '87 grand final that that's what they did. So for my business, I thought it was okay. I was fair. I went off and did something else. Look, you never want to leave. I'm telling you, this is such a good business to be in. You just don't want to be out of the place. So for that, to me, it did hurt for a little while. But you know what? We get over things, don't we?
Well, we do. You were named as captain in '86, and judging
and sacked in the same year.
Well, I don't want to.
That's the Carlton I know.
That is us.
I just wonder if it had anything to do with the energy that you brought to the captaincy for the announcement.
You know, I'm just out there doing the best I can for the side. It doesn't really make much difference to the team as a whole. I'm just sort of. No difference at all to me.
Come on, can you get a bit up and about, please?
Inspirational stuff as always, Trevor. Was being named...
Stand clear.
Hey, Sellers, we have a segment we love on this show, and hopefully it's got something to do with you. It's called Fresh from the Archives.
Yep.
It does involve you, and this was an era. I love this. It wasn't an era known for big fellas. Forward pressure, and forwards chasing down the run and chase. This is one of the best I've ever seen. Here you are, once again, it's against Collingwood, no doubt. Talk us through it, Andy.
Vic Park, of course, and they win the tap. Greg Phillips, who was a powerful athlete.
Now look at you. Look at you. You're putting in the yards.
I'm not gaining.
You're not gaining. And you keep going.
Yes, you are.
Well, I used to do the token chase.
What's the token chase?
When you're actually really not trying.
Yeah, the one Rowan Burke and Peter Bazasto.
That's just when the head goes side to side.
That's right.
Fun. That was one of your better chases. Can I now show you one?
One of the worst?
This is not in the same class,
yes,
I'm afraid. But have a look. There you go, going forward. Mick Nolan and back.
Now.
Look at this. What are you doing?
That's the token chase.
Do you
understand?
Head down, arms moving, not going anywhere.
It looks like you're chasing.
Of all the players to run headlong into, Mick Nolan.
He's hard to miss.
He's an easy target.
He's a good man.
And a good man too.
So are you. Can you stick around? There's a few other things we want to talk to you about.
I'm sure.
Fantastic. Mark McClure's going to stick around. We've got a whole lot more to speak to the great man about after this.
Very good.
18-year-old Helen Josephine D'Amico of the Melbourne suburb of Airport West appeared in court wearing a loose knit top, denim jeans and leg warmers. She was charged with offensive behaviour. It was alleged she jumped over the fence at the MCG on Saturday, ran a short distance and then discarded her clothing. Lawyer Mr Frank Galbally appealed to the court for mercy for his client. He said she was a young girl who simply got overexcited. This came to a climax when she rushed onto the field and committed what he described as this very foolish act. Mr Galbally said his client was very embarrassed by the incident and when she returned to her parents in Sydney would be given a good dressing down.
Massive story at the time.
On this show, that is breaking news, by the way, some of the topical stuff we cover.
Can I tell you, that's what I wear to all my court appearances. Loose knit top, denim jeans and leg warmers.
Anything else you recognise from those images?
Those steps. Steps out there.
Where were you?
By the way, in 1982, she changed that game. She had the biggest effect on that. She should have won the Norm Smith. She had the greatest influence on that game.
Oh, glad you said influence.
Wasn't certain she was a blonde or a brunette.
She jury's out.
Where were you when she...
All I know is you could tell it was the 80s. That's all I'm saying. You could tell it was the 80s.
Yeah, you could.
Oh, is he?
I don't think you can get away with that one.
No, you can't. I'll edit that one out.
Now,
moving right along.
Mark, you're a heartthrob. No question. Sometimes I just make statements. You were I know it was a long time ago, but the long flowing locks and fashion was a big party.
Big broad shoulders.
But I say that.
You're a looker.
You were. Shut up. You were handsome.
Yeah, a big strapping bull of a man.
You were. Even now, I still get lost in your eyes right now. But I say this with some physical evidence of you. I know it's the Footballer magazine.
What year is that from?
1979, I think.
Yep.
And a beautiful picture here. As actually, it's more a centrefold, Mark, of you.
Honestly.
Mark, take us through this. What? Do you remember that? What do you remember about that? Cheer up, mate.
Well, I was in the backyard of my house when we were staying. I was living with 3 other guys in Brighton in a little rental house, and the Football magazine was run by Rod Gold. Remember late Rod Gold? Rod Gold died not so long ago. Rest in peace. And he ran the Football magazine. He was like the art director or whatever it is. And he said, look, I want to put a couple of things in there. And would you like to dress nude? Not dress nude, but dress, take your clothes off and go in the middle of the thing.
And you said yes?
And I said yes, because I had a furniture store at the time, and he said, I'll give you advertising for the whole year. I said, well, that sounds OK. But I didn't know it'd lead to all this, I actually went to a party about 3 months later. And
Sorry, just quickly, look at it. There's no tattoos. Not a single tattoo.
How do you know?
Unless you've got a wow one out the back, which was the policy of the time.
There are some who would say I could get away with a ping pong ball.
Very good. So yes, that was a game changer. Did you get a bit of interest out of that?
Well, I was at a party in Carlton at a little house, and every time someone came over, they were just sort of looking at me and going, shit, So I had to go and undrink myself at some stage into the bathroom, and as I closed the door, I stand there like you normally do. I turned around and they had the poster on the wall. I thought to myself, it's a bit average.
You know what you should have done? Walked out of the bathroom naked with a footy in front of you.
Well, it's always worked for you.
I'll be doing that in about half an hour. Now, you were also the fashion at the Tribunal. One of your many Tribunal appearances was outstanding. Have a look at this.
Ricky
Gaffer coming out, standard rig, and hello.
Despite 2 broken bones in his wrist, was obviously ruler.
I didn't hit him, I had a broken thumb.
How long was the leather pants stage?
It was an issue I was going through at the time. Haven't you ever had leather pants?
Sellers, did you break your hand putting those pants on?
The bloke in the background took a bit of a shot.
And he's looking at my backside.
Are they arseless chaps or something? Anyway, it was a good rig.
Yeah,
well done.
Nice work.
Can I ask about this? Obviously, a great playing career and a good media career. Did you ever think about coaching? Because you were assistant coach, but what about senior position, Sales? Did you ever think about it or come close?
Not really. Not after my first day at Brisbane when I went there with Peter Knights.
And what changed your mind?
Well, we Brisbane Bears played North Melbourne at MCG, first game ever played, right? And I had the board. Now, in the old days, I put the board. We didn't have a lot of money, obviously. Yeah. And as I walked across the ground, I said hello to the guy on the gate. How you going, Johnny? How you going? All the guys. I got the board. I get across to the box. I opened up the thing, and there's 2 names left. The rest of them are all out in the middle of the ground somewhere. And I'm sitting there and Peter Knight says, "Who's on who?" I go, I try and tell lies, so-and-so's on so-and-so. He said, "Show me the board." I said, "You don't want to see the board." Anyway, so here's the board. There's 2. Go and write names on. I said, "Okay, give me a spell."
Hey, I know you pretend to be a bit dusted all off these days, but I know you care deeply about the old footy club. You still do.
I do.
How's Brendan Bolton going? Is it a tough loss last week? Yeah. How do you see this side developing under the coach at the moment?
It's interesting. Sometimes you've got to set your own destiny as a player, and you've got to get your own respect as a playing team and a group. What's worried me is a lot of people have been gifted games at this football club for a hell of a long time.
Yep.
I'd like him to sack a couple and send a message to people, hang on, I don't want to put up, I'm not putting up with this rubbish.
Dropped Jared Ruff in
and so they should. And there should be a couple at our joint who should go. You know, I mean, it doesn't really matter to me what they do, but unless you start to stamp your authority on the place, you might not be there for much longer. And as a player, the same. Because in our group, we pushed each other to the limit and kept, you know, and it was tough. And it was interesting. And you either wear it or don't wear it. And if you don't wear it and you don't like it, you won't there much longer. So I think that they need to do it. And where did you get sacked from?
What were we talking like in this industry or in previous industries? How long you got? This is the longest job I've ever had. To tell you the truth. Just do me a favour and come out of your shell one day and tell us what you're really thinking. That'll just be fantastic. Now, I'd like to leave on a up note. You're a man of many talents, but this is one of my favourite albums of all time. It's called Footy Favourites. Have a look at some of the all-time greats assembled there. They all got to pick a classic and sing it on this album. You, of course, chose...
Imagine. Well,
Imagine by John Lennon. Thought you'd start small and work your way up, did you?
No, well, it's an easy song to sing because it's done in little phrases.
Hey, quick question and short answer. Why? Why did you agree to this?
Well, they paid me.
And, you know, you're sick of standing in his backyard naked holding a footy. Now, obviously you chose Imagine, and we wanted to go out tonight with a bit of Imagine, but we can't afford the rights.
That's true.
We really
owns them. That wasn't the only song this week that we couldn't get the rights to, was it?
No, we tried to get the theme to the Benny Hill show, and we couldn't afford that. So what we have got off the album, though, to take us out to the break is our own Tim Watson singing Ruby, Don't Take Your Love to Town. Here's a little snippet.
Now, this is a hit.
Ruby, are you contemplating going out somewhere?
Timbo.
The shadow on the wall tells me the sun is going down. Oh, Ruby,
don't take your love to town. Thank you very much.
Mark McClure, everybody. Thanks for coming on the show, big fella. Lovely to see you. Mark McClure joining us on the show. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, Mixed Multi up
Howard pumps it in. They've got the outnumber. They all crash down. Flashpoint. Stevie Motlop. What a time!
every year as the showdown over in Adelaide, and the finish to them last year. Ken Hinkley was going absolutely bunter last year when they won. And then the replay the second time round, Josh Jenkins, controversial, dramatic, got the kick away just before the end of the game. That was enough to put Adelaide over the line, and then there was the controversy.
They never let you down.
They never do.
They never do. The showdown is one of the great encounters on the AFL calendar. Should be on a Friday night for mine. But look forward to that.
Yeah, well, it's not.
I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, well, it's going to be on the telly, so it'll be on this weekend.
That sounded almost sarcastic.
Yeah.
What? What do you say? I'm just saying I can't wait to watch it right here on 7, Murray.
No. No, it's not on 7.
Oh, OK. No worries.
It's not. But, that's going to be a great game.
Another cracking decision from management.
It's one of the great...
There's a couple of fantastic games. The West Coast Eagles, big game this. St Kilda are going OK, and they'll want to bounce back after the loss last week to the Giants.
Are any of these on 7 this weekend?
They're all
couple
on
of them
7,
are.
mate.
Fremantle, of course, at home. They'll test your mob. I know you're...
Who?
Fremantle.
There are no easy games. We're undermanned and we're going to Freo.
Yeah.
We could go down in a ding-dong classic that finishes 14 points to 12.
And it's all... That's true.
is how I'm...
There's a bit going on over in the West at the moment, too, isn't there?
Lots to look out for. Now, if you're a Weagles fan and you happen to be watching this, I've got some great news for you. There's exciting pre-show entertainment since Optus Stadium now. It's one of the great coliseums anywhere in the country. And you've got a new band. They're called The Net. They've got a brand new Eagles song out. They're coming for you. Here's a little taste of what you can expect pre-show with The Net.
They're 4 footy tragics who love one club.
flying high. Breathing as we touch the sky.
The aim? To engage Eagles fans on game day.
Play it hard when our fans roll.
It's good that, it's good that Matt Priddis. It's good that Matt Priddis is stayed in contact with the
Now, good luck to the net. I like them.
Do we like them?
I do.
That's a great sound.
However, you know where my allegiances have always lied when it comes to songs associated with the West Coast Eagle. Ron Winbridge. Now, he set the bar very high back in the day, and I still don't see why you wouldn't be going for a bit of this pre-show.
West Coast Eagles, only you can take the flag. West Coast Eagles, you're gonna get there yet. You bet.
As far as Ron Winbridge is concerned, it could be just the trick to lift the Eagles to the lofty heights needed to win the grand final. And heck, if that's not enough, there's always the offer of a team karaoke night, cruising Perth in his Eagles Express.
A team of champs who can really play. When you run out, they're gonna make them pay. But on the day, it's gonna rain gold, gold, and only gold. West Coast Eagles.
Fantastic stuff. Good luck to the West Coast Eagles. West Coast Eagles.
Did Ron mark his own kid?
He did.
Wow. Jesus Christ, would have a playing on Ron, wouldn't he?
Time now.
He would indeed.
He would. Time now for mixed multi.
Oh, hello. All right, I'll get stuck into it. A quick game's a good game tonight with the multi.
Is that right?
Are you ready to go?
Ready
Here
to
we
go,
go.
ready to go.
First up,
yes,
have a look at Tom Hawkins and Zach Merritt here promoting the country round. There they are, standing in a paddock. That's a good look. I'd like to wager that by the end of this season, that lettuce could be coaching the Carlton Football Club. that lettuce.
It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. I don't know why people are laughing at that. You can't have it. How about I give you Zach Merritt to get 30 plus against the Swannies and I'll give you $1.80.
I'll take it. 180. We are off to a flyer. All right, second leg, Josh Kennedy. Goals on the weekend. Have a look at the celebration from this Swans fan. Have a look. Goal. Cut to the crowd.
Yep.
And there he is. And I'd like to wager that fan is the biggest dingbat to support the Swans since this guy. By the way, for any kids out there watching tonight, he was just ordering a couple of kebabs. I'll have 2 kebabs if I could.
You can't have it.
2 kebabs.
You can't have it. How about...
What can I have,
You
Andy?
can take the Bombers at the line, which is, as we speak, -7.5. I'll give you $1.90. What do you reckon?
Well, I'd like a bit more value, mate, but I suppose I'll have to take it.
Come on, take it.
You're being a bit stingy. Take that surprised tone out of
I'm
it.
just saying, the multi's going really well.
At this stage, I reckon Sam Six probably got the multi covered tonight.
Well, actually, that's a good point. It's easy for the multi now riding the wave of Sam Six.
I would have Sam Six's in the glamour position probably soaked up a lot of easy laughs. So, well, it's a bit tougher out the back here doing all the heavy lifting.
It's only half time of mixed multi. I'm sure you're going to boot it home hard. So, you know.
We may have gone too early.
Third leg.
Yeah, I think we have. The campaign trail. Now, we're in the middle of it. In case you hadn't known, it's nearly over. Throws up some strange images. Here's Bill Shorten out on the run. Have a look. And here he goes around the corner. And I'd like to wager that is actually the trailer for Forrest Gump 2.
That's a very odd running style. You can't have it.
In case you're wondering, that's what the Benny Hill music was for.
Couldn't get it.
We couldn't get it.
You can't have that, but how about you take Noah Bolter to kick the first goal against the Dockers? Now you want some value.
We're talking turkey. Oh, this is going to be plump. This will be a good one to get on.
You're taking that?
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Okay, here we go. Let's beat this baby home. Check out this guy opening an industrial bin and paying the price. wager that guy now uses that bin to recycle his own teeth.
He probably does, but you can't have that. How about you take the Blues to beat the Pies? You want some value? Head to head, I'll give you $7.
The Blues to beat the Pies? What are you doing?
You've taken it.
You're trying to sink my multi.
Load it up. What do you got?
The multi sank long ago.
500 million.
Jeez.
Okay. Carlton to beat Collingwood. I say every week, get on. This cannot lose. I think this one can lose. Carlton to beat
Hey, it's been a weekend. It's been the last couple of days have dished up some miracles in the sports world. Who knows? There might be another one to come on Saturday afternoon. Jump on Mix Multi, the Sportsbet app. Look for Mix Multi in the Megabet
and go hard.
Don't go hard.
Leave nothing in the locker room.
Leave something behind for the kids. Don't go too hard. Don't do that. Don't do that. Bet within your means. Gamble responsibly. And the last shout's up next.
All right.
Not sure who's got the responsibility tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Last shout this week is to last week's guest, Nicky Winmar, who I thought was magnificent.
He was
Nicky,
fantastic.
Well done,
He was really good. It's great having him on the show.
So many highlights, and it was a big thrill for us to catch up with Nicky Winmar last week. But for me, the highlight was, I don't know if you're watching, but halfway through the segment, Nicky just decided to turn to the camera and give a shout out to the boys at work. That was my highlight.
But I want to say to, with my work with First Traffic, I want to say thank you to everybody. And
there you go.
And the Yarraville Bottle Club to everybody. Thank you, Kane, everyone.
It's the boys at work and the Yarraville Club, so that's it, and
beautiful.
It's amazing though. I've watched a lot of television and football related over the time. That's my second favourite shout out ever on telly.
Favourite?
My favourite would be Mike Williamson and Lou Richards before the 1976 Grand Final when they decided to do some Cheerios of their own.
Lou would like to say hello to an old friend of ours up in Canberra. I was up there last Sunday for their grand final. Wally Wright, who's 83 years of age, actually umpired a grand final at 50 years of age. And my old friends Jimmy and Jan Doyle, who are holidaying up there at Noosa Heads, and Horry Clover, who's up in Queensland, one of the all-time greats of football, a magnificent fellow. And I know Alex Jesselenko is up there in Canberra with CTC today, and I know he'll be well looked after tonight by Eleanor and Jack Dorman, who looked after me last Sunday night.
Well, I'd like to send a cheerio to a fellow named Moon in Wollongong. We say to you, Mr. Moon, the very best of luck, and we're pleased you're watching our show today.
I'd like to say hello too to my good mates up there, Mike Latin, Brian Gleeson up at CTC in Canberra, the boys right throughout the network.
Hey, thanks. Before a grand final.
Grand final day. Cheerios.
Time to go, but you've been sent a Cheerio. If I can go, we've just received this here.
Via Twitter.
Hold on, someone hasn't Googled it in like last week.
But if you're not up with the lingo, that's not my problem. Someone has tweeted us.
What have they done?
This has come in during the show from Mark Rasciuto. That's it, Sam Payne. You have enough content of me making genuine mistakes and saying stupid comments without using misleading footage like tonight. We're hearing from my lawyer soon. Wow. The lawyer would be a good result for you because that means he's going through legal channels. Great show, Ruin Ditz, Triple M breakfast in the mornings in Adelaide. Tune in tomorrow and you might get a right or reply from Rue, I reckon.
There you go.
Go, Rui.
Gazza and Tim on SEN do a fine job as well. That's just about it. We are done and dusted. Mark, we've got to thanks for everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks to the studio audience. Thanks to Stephen Mount and Mark McClure for being part of it tonight. Don't miss next week. Who knows where it's going to go? Jason Ackermanis is going to be our special guest. The Acker is going to be here. That's it. We're done and dusted. Thanks for watching.